Hello. Welcome back to the Double M Farm. I am still getting a lot of questions about the second set of tires and axles and hubs on the Harbor Freight trencher and why I like it so much, what the advantage is over the single set. So we're going to do a quick walkthrough again and see if we can explain it a little better than I apparently have explained it in the past. You see right now it's sitting in the towing configuration. And normally, as it comes from the factory, with the set of tires that you see on the ground right now, what you would have to do is crank the machine, turn the boom and dipper to one side, and push down on the ground to lift one side to allow you to take that tire off, move it to the back, and then put the outriggers on. Then you would lift the boom, swing it to the other side, and repeat the process. Well, by having the extra set of tires, which you see in their storage over there, you don't have to go back and forth. You can just pick it up in the center. So what I do is I'll extend the boom out. I'll tell you now, because when I crank, you won't be able to hear me. I'm going to extend the boom out, and that will center it as far as balance so that the tongue will come up in the air and I can put those two sets of tires in the back end. Then I will push down with the bucket in the center to lift this in and remove these tires, put them in storage, and put the outriggers on. So let's give this a whirl and see if you get a better idea of what it is we've been talking about. And there you go. Just that simple. She's now in digging configuration. And I'm a 70-year-old man, and you'll notice there was really no heavy lifting involved. Excuse me, I'm shaking the camera like crazy. It was very simple, no side to side, just front to back. And also you see the new storage area for the outriggers, how quick and simple that worked. And now she's ready to dig. We'll set her down there. And there you go. I'm going to, I've got her throttled all the way down just so that you can hear me over the sound of the motor. So I'll leave her right there. We've also had questions about, there, now you can hear. We've also had some questions about sizes and spacing, that kind of thing. So if you would like, we'll do some quick measurements. I'm here by myself. Not sure how well this is going to work. Let's see if I can set this down here. This is called flying by the seat of your pants here. All right. We've had some questions about spacing and sizes. So, you have 5 foot is the spread on the tires in the digging configuration. If you're going to be straddling a ditch to dig it out, you've got 5 foot of spread between the tires in their digging position. Now the outriggers I have in the last hole, in other words the shortest, so I could bring them further out, but in their shortest position, where they are now, you have 7.5 foot of spread between the outriggers. So you could basically straddle a 5 foot width ditch and not have any problems with the wheels. And I have in a bind digging out a wide catch basin. It's a little tricky and I don't recommend it, but I did it. I pulled the pins that are holding the wheels on the axles and pulled the wheels out about halfway, which meant there was nothing holding them in, but it allowed me to straddle about a 7 foot hole. And you don't want to do a lot of moving there because, again, there's nothing locking those axles in, and one of them could slide out if you hit a rough spot. But there are things you can do. It can be done, and that's one of them. The reach on the boom, you'll see how it is extended out. Someone asked, how deep can you really dig? I dug an 8 foot hole, and to get to the 8 foot, it'll dig 7 to 7.5 foot comfortably. To get to the 8 foot deep hole, you have to dig at an angle at the proper spot to where you can start out digging with the machine further back from the hole so that you get better angles and leverage. But then to get down deep, you've got to bring the machine up close to the hole. I had the outriggers right at the edge of the hole so that the boom was basically from its center pivot point right there at the hydraulic hoses. The boom was basically going straight down into the hole. The hole was right there. And that allowed the dipper to reach further in the bucket, and it got down to the 8 foot depth. So if you work it properly, those of you who have these machines, you know the more you use it, the more comfortable you get, and the more you learn those little things. And another thing, loading trailers. People talk about the reach of the bucket, of the arm, the boom and dipper. If you want to dig a hole and load a trailer with the dirt, you're sitting here in the control position here. And you see I've got the boom straight out, centered. If you want to dig a hole and load a trailer, the easiest way to do it is not to, if the hole that you're going to dig, you don't want to get centered with the hole. You don't want to dig right here, because that's going to put your trailer that you're trying to load over here, and the boom will just reach out to the edge when, as far as turning this way, it will reach to just the edge of the outriggers, which is right about here. So what you want to do, if you're digging a hole and you want to load a trailer with the dirt, dig the hole right here. Don't center your machine with the hole. Set it an angle to the hole so that you're digging, so that your boom is going right here to dig. Then that allows you to put your trailer right there. And it makes it so much easier. I could demonstrate this digging, but the problem is every time I run the machine with the camera, there's a lot of vibration and there's the motor noise, and it's hard to hear what we're talking about. So I'm sure you can all visualize that. The secret to loading your trailer, angle your machine so that the hole or ditch that you're digging is here, and then you can put your trailer here or right over the outrigger or close to the outrigger, and you can load a trailer. I've got a trailer that sits up. I know I've got a video showing my low trailer that I use the Harbor Freight unloader on. But I've also got another trailer that is much higher. It's smaller, but it's much higher with higher sides. Got 2.5-foot sides on it. And if I park it right here, I can load that sucker full with no problem. So that gives you another idea of how you can load things. Let me see how noisy this will be. There you go. If you've got a trailer sitting right there, there's no reason you can't drop dirt in it. No reason at all. When you've got your bucket curled, whoop, here's where the trick comes in. You've got your bucket full of dirt. If you raise your dipper any higher than right there, you're going to start losing the load out of the bucket. So you don't want to try to load a trailer any higher than that. That's about the maximum reach as far as height, so that you can dump into the trailer without losing the load. So what does that give you as far as the height of the trailer? I have no idea. I've never measured it. And with my hands full, I don't know if I can measure it now. Let's try. I'm going to set you down again. And let's get a measurement on this thing and see. That's 6 foot to the top, to where you would be losing dirt. So if you've got a trailer that with the tires and the sides of the trailer is 4 foot up in the air to the top of the sides of the trailer, that still gives you 2 foot of clearance to get over those sides and dump your load into the trailer. So just another spec, if you will, for those who have been asking. And please remember, when you park your machine, not just one of these towables, but any hydraulic machine, don't ever park it and walk off and leave it like that. If the grandkids or small children climb up there and push on that lever, it's going to release the pressure, And that bucket's going to come down with enough force to just about break something and kill any child or adult, for that matter, that's standing there. So please remember, don't walk off and leave your machine with the boom up in the air. Or if you got a trenching machine with the teeth on it, don't leave it up in any kind of hydraulics. Don't leave it up in the air. Extremely dangerous. Let's see. Anything else? I believe that pretty much covers the questions I was getting. So, like I've said in the past, I try to keep these videos as short as possible because I know people get bored real easy. Hope everyone is staying safe during all the stupid coronavirus nonsense. I've worn a mask maybe twice. A couple of stores that just flat would not let me in unless I put a mask on, and I happened to have had to have something out of that store, so I put the mask on. Other than that, I just don't wear a mask, and I'm, like I say, 70 years old. I'm healthy. So far, so good. The death rate, average age of death rate to coronavirus is 78, I believe they said. And the average lifespan in the United States is 79. So if we all get coronavirus, we're going to die a year earlier than we would have normally. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get political, but there you go. Stay safe. Have fun with your Harbor Freight trenchers or any other towable backhoe trencher. These things are so much fun. I don't care which kind you buy. They all have their good points and their bad points, and you can make them all work. Just remember, listen to your machine. When you're using one of these machines, even up to a big, expensive $40,000 tractor backhoe, listen to the machine. You'll hear the stress points. It'll tell you when you've gone far enough. Back off. As long as you do that, I'm on my 3rd year with this one and have not broken anything. Zero. Haven't broken not a tooth, not a bucket, not a hydraulic line, not an outrigger, not an axle, not a pivot pin. Haven't broken anything in 3 years of hard digging here on 7 acres of Smoky Mountain red clay and rock. So get out and enjoy your machine, but use some common sense. And I appreciate you visiting us here on the Double M Farm, and we'll talk to you again real soon.